Dragon. The most hyped up fruit yet. One of the most powerful fruits, considered the king of the fruits. In this video, we will see the history of this fruit. Like its balance changes, community response and more. With the dragon rework releasing, let's begin the journey of the dragon fruit. Now since this video was first made close to dragon rework's release, we will split this video in two parts. One part of the video will be talking about dragon before the rework and the other part will talk about dragon after the rework. Let's start with before the rework since there's more to talk about there, but I suggest watching the whole video if you want the full dragon history experience. First, let's see the specifications on the dragon fruit. It was first released on the 23rd of December, 2020. Which was in update 13. It is a mythical rarity fruit beast type fruit. Costing 3.5 million belly and 2,600 Robux for the permanent version. It had 3 different fruit models, and this was its fruit model when it first got released. Having less than a 1% chance of rolling it from the Blox fruits gacha. You can also change the color of your wings and transformation by flying through colored hoops. Most colors require certain mastery levels though. Green, blue and red are unlocked by default. Orange at 100 mastery, purple at 200 mastery, brown at 300 mastery, yellow at 400 mastery, white at 500 mastery and black at 600 mastery. There is also a pink dragon color but only admits can unlock it. Anyways, let's see its abilities and moveset. Let's start with the passive abilities. This is the Fury meter and you start with 50% of the bar filled. It needs to be full to transform into a dragon. Fury is gained over time when not transformed and drained while transformed and using moves transformed. Now let's see its moveset. Heatwave beam is the Z move requiring 1 mastery. You fire a beam of energy doing damage and knockback. Doing almost 3600 damage with a 7.5 second cooldown and costs 40 energy. Dragonic Claw is the X move requiring 150 mastery. You dash with a ball of fire in your hand. If in contact with an enemy, the user will grab and drag them. It also does burn damage. Doing up to 5200 damage with a 10.5 second cooldown and costs 60 energy. Fire Shower is the C move requiring 240 mastery. You jump into the air shooting fireballs. Doing anywhere between 850 to 5300 damage because of random firing, having a 15 second cooldown and costs 100 energy. Dragon Flight is the F move requiring 75 mastery. You grow wings and it's a fast flight move having a 5 second cooldown and costs 50 energy. Transformation is the V move requiring 350 mastery. It doesn't do anything unless you have a maxed out Fury meter. If you do, you transform into a dragon. While you are transformed, your other moves actually become different, so let's see its moves when you're transformed. The Z move Heatwave Beam transformed. You shoot a huge beam of fire from the dragon mouth with increased damage and range. Doing 3601 damage, has a 5 second cooldown, costs 40 energy and uses 7.5% of your Fury meter. The X move Dragonic Claw transformed. The dragon opens its mouth, shooting 3 large fire projectiles in 3 directions that does burn damage too. Does up to 4500 damage with a 7 second cooldown, costs 60 energy and uses 10% of your Fury meter. The C move Fire Shower transformed. You form a giant ball of flames, then it is unleashed, exploding and burning enemies in range. It can do 3002 over 6700 damage, has a 12 second cooldown, costs 100 energy and uses 15% of your Fury meter. You cannot use the F move while transformed since you can fly already in transformation without using a move. Also while you're transformed, you gain 65% damage resistance roll attacks. As you can see, dragon is overpowered. With high damaging moves and the ability to fly, it is definitely worth it. I was gonna talk about the combos you can use with dragon, but since 90% of dragon users air camp and spam moves transformed, I wasn't going to list some. Now let's see more of its history like balance changes and more now. As I told you already, dragon was released on the 23rd of December 2020 in update 13. Just one update later on the 20th of March 2021 when update 14 was released, Dragon got a nerf. Its defense when transformed was decreased. Next update on the 11th of September 2021, update 15 came out with the third C. Dragon got a small buff where the Fury meter would regen a bit faster. Update 17.2, released on the 12th of March 2022 had a lot of balance changes for Dragon. For the nerfs, the Transform Z and X move got its damage reduced and transforming now costs 20% of the user's Fury meter. Buffs, its defense while transformed increased a bit, its passive Fury drain was greatly reduced and here's a big one. While transformed, taking damage now increased the Fury meter and all the cooldowns were reduced. This definitely caused some backlash in the community. In update 17.3, released the 10th of September 2022, Dragon's C move got reworked as well as almost everything else in the game. In update 18 was the Race V4 update releasing the 6th of January 2023. Race V4 Awakened combined with Dragon made it much more powerful. Now update 23, released Christmas last year. It made Dragon unavailable to obtain besides trading, being unlockable again when the Dragon Rework update came out. When you tried to buy it from Blox Fruit's dealer before update 24, it would say this Blox Fruit is currently unavailable for purchase with the system message saying the King of the Fruits is temporarily off sale for enhancements. Stay tuned for its powerful return. Now this would normally be the end of this video but of course it isn't. And hey, before we continue, if you're enjoying the video so far, like and subscribe. Now we're in the second part of the video. Update 24, released on the 15th of December 2024. Of course, it was focused on the Dragon Fruit. Now before we look at the Dragon Fruit rework, we need to talk about the controversy that occurred this update. All of people's dragons got converted to tokens. These tokens could be used in certain ways. For regular dragon tokens, you can redeem them for certain rewards. For permanent dragon tokens, you can redeem them for permanent dragon for other rewards. And as you know, these rewards were not worth it at all. The entire community went mad at Blox Fruits. Even popular Roblox content creators who barely play Blox Fruits talked about it. A few days later, the team said they were gonna make a change and they did. Now if you had a permanent dragon, you'd be able to pick which dragon you wanted. This mostly calmed the community down but we have still lost some trust in the Blox Fruits team. Anyways, let's see what happened to Dragon now that it's reworked. It now costs 15 million belly and 5,000 Robux for the permanent version. Also now having two variants, Eastern and Western with different transformation models and abilities. Now its abilities are mostly the same from the old Dragon, so let's see its moveset. I assume everyone here has already seen countless Dragon Rework showcase videos, so I'll speedrun the moves while still giving important info. Let's begin. In normal form, M1 is the same as other fruits but orange. Heatwave Cannon has massive range and explosion. Infernal Pincer is an upgraded version of Dragonic Claw. Scorching Downfall shoots much more fireballs with more range. Dragonic Saw now does damage if it hits enemy. Now with the transformation move, if only half the Fury meter is filled, they'll go in hybrid form. If meter is full, they'll transform into a dragon. Starting with hybrid form, you become bigger, tankier and your moves become better. The M1 now has more range and now does burn damage. Heatwave Cannon now has even more range and has big knockback. Infernal Pincer now has a bigger explosion after the dash. Scorching Downfall now lasts longer. Dragonic Saw also does more damage. With the transformation, if the Fury meter is full, they'll transform into either an Eastern or Western dragon depending on which variant you picked. The Eastern dragon looks like a long snake and the Western dragon looks like a wyvern, with their moves being different too. Starting with the Eastern dragon, M1 now breathe fire with long range. Heatwave Cannon has massive range and area of effect. Infernal Pincer now swirls you around with fire ending with an explosion. Scorching Downfall does that. Can't even explain what that does. Dragonic Saw now swirls you around and is faster. For the Western Dragon, M1 breathes fire as well. Heatwave Cannon also has insane range and area of effect. Infernal Pincer looks similar to Old Dragon, slashing with fire claws. Scorching Downfall does whatever that is. Dragonic Saw is even faster and same mob damage. And using transformation without either variant either goes back to hybrid for more normal form. I wasn't even gonna list damage since a couple will kill any player anyway. The mastery, energy and fury meter are also the same for the most part, as you all know. Dragon is now the most overpowered fruit in the game and has some of the best visuals and too. What this means though is that mostly any other fruit in the game is useless against this fruit, and even other infamous PvP fruits like Buddha, Dough and even Kitsune are getting used less and less. This also makes PvP less fun since you either have to be extremely skilled or use dragon to win battles consistently. Now this fruit will probably be nerfed once a new most expensive fruit comes out, like what happened with Kitsune, but for now, we'll have to deal with dragon everywhere for the next few years. So that's the history of the dragon fruit in Blox Fruits. I definitely didn't list everything, but I definitely told everything most players need anyway. The game has increasingly become less and less balanced and it won't change, but I hope in the future they rebel and some of the more op fruits. Anyways, thanks for watching. I can't believe how many people watched and liked the Buddha video. Over 100 people subscribed from that video in less than 2 weeks, that's crazy to me. New video about Dough next week. Sign. I hate all Dough fruit users. Dough users are worse than Buddha users. Dough needs to be removed. I hope they nerf the lot out of Dough. I hate all Dough fruit users. I hate Dough Awakening.